You better wash your hands. You better wash your hands. You better wash your hands before and after meals. And when you use the can, soap and water for 20 seconds should be part of your plan. That's how you wash your hands. That's how you wash your hands. And when you're finished, you'll feel happy inside. Washing so thorough that microbes, they can't hide, they can't hide, they can't hide. Make sure you wash your nails and dry with towel or fan. Prevent those nasty microbes from spreading across the land. You better wash your hands. You better wash your hands. And when you're finished, you'll feel happy inside. Washing so thorough that microbes, they can't hide, they can't hide, they can't hide. Oh yeah, I'll tell you something I think you'll understand. For the sake of sanitation, you better wash your hands. You better wash your hands. You better wash your hands. Why don't you wash your hands?
Okay. I think we'll go ahead and get started. And that way anyone else that decide to join in can join in. My name is Della Hicks, and I work with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Center here in Pasquotank County. And I share the expanded food and nutrition education for families of our county. So today, due to the coronavirus that's going on, my classes, I'm not hosting face-to-face right now. So we've decided to do some Zoom sessions, and we may even venture with some Facebook Live or watch parties. I tried earlier this morning, but got a power surge and got kicked out. So today we are actually talking about choosing more fruits and vegetables. Also, as a reminder, when it comes to food safety, I want to just remind you in regards to what's going on to make sure that you do practice food safety at all times. As you know, that washing your hands is the first issue when it comes to food safety, and especially when you have small children. So we want to always practice this at home because they're learning it in school. So when they get home and they're in front of the sink and they're washing, and you look and you say to yourself, oh my goodness, they're wasting water. They are not wasting water. They've been taught that to wash your hands thoroughly, it takes 20 seconds. Okay, so that's very important. So just remembering when it comes to hand washing, making sure that you get the water on, that you get your soap on, you get your hands wet, you lather them up, and go into the crevices as well as in your jewelry, because it's very important to get in your jewelry. This is where a lot of germs and bacteria harbor. So just sitting here, germs and bacteria are just in the air. And after about 4 hours, you can have as many as 20,000 germs and bacteria. So it's very, very important that we do disinfect our areas down where we're going to do any type of food preparation, as well as any type of snack time, and just in general, overall food safety. So when it comes to food safety, also I have a little PowerPoint that I'm going to put on in just a second to let you see some some reasons why we want to have food safety and address those issues. So I am going to share my screen with you right now. And so when it comes to, let's go back up. Okay, so when it comes to food safety and food and nutrition education, some key things I want to remind you. When it comes to being able to contact me, my name and my email address is there. And my email address is drhicks2@ncsu.edu. And so in regards to food safety, as I said, making sure that you do wash your hands thoroughly, making sure that you use warm soapy water. And of course, you can assist the kids. Also remembering our 4 rules of thumb when it comes to clean, keeping our hands clean, keeping our food separated, making sure that our temperatures reach the proper temperature, and anything that should be chilled or sitting on ice, especially those things that have a mayonnaise base. It's very important that you keep those at the proper temperature. And we're going to talk a little bit more about our temperatures that our meats should be in just a second. Making your own sanitation solution is very, very important as well. You're going to just take a simple spray bottle, and you're going to get that spray bottle, and you're going to, depending on the size of it, you're going to have at least 2 cups of water, 1/4 teaspoon of unscented bleach. And we say unscented bleach because when you read your bleach container, it tells you that it kills up to 99.9% of germs and bacteria. But the only way it's going to do that if it's unscented bleach. Also, with your bleach solution, you're going to do bleach in your rinse water, not your dish water. If you did it in your dish water and you use detergent, that cuts back that 99.9% of protection. So what you're going to do is wash your dishes your regular way. Then you're going to make your rinse water and dip your dishes in the rinse water and then let them air dry. For making your dish water with the rinse water, you're going to have at least a gallon of water and 1 tablespoon again of that unscented bleach. Again, remember our 4 rules of thumb: keeping your hands clean, wash also your countertop areas. Do not crack your egg on the edge of the counter. Do not crack your eggs on the bowl because you have not washed those surfaces down. So when you go to crack that egg, whatever germs and bacteria are on that counter or that bowl will seep into the cracked portion of your egg. Always remember to crack your egg with the back of the spine of the knife, the flat side of the knife. And then what you're going to do is flip your egg over and pull apart, and then it's going to drop into your container. If your recipe calls for more than 1 egg, crack them single and put it in a separate dish. And once you cracked it, examine it, then add it to your recipe, and then use that same container and crack another egg, okay? Also remembering to keep your meat separated from your fruits and vegetables. Always having a cutting board is a good idea. Use one side for making, cutting your meats on, and then the other side for cutting your fruits and vegetables. Always remembering to wash those in warm soapy water, and making sure that you do scrub those sides that you may cut meat on. Making sure that your meats reach the proper temperature by having a meat thermometer. And with our meat thermometers, basically we want to remember to always take off that little protective sleeve. I've seen people trying to insert a meat thermometer into foods, and it's hard to do because they still have the protective sleeve on. So making sure that you do slide that off and making sure that you insert your meat thermometer not near a bone, but in the fattiest part of the meat, about halfway. You want to make sure that you're reaching in it far enough to make sure that it reaches the proper temperatures. And with our temperatures for our meats, the key thing, these will be some of the skill builders you'll get when you participate in my series of classes. So please make sure that in the chat section that you're adding your information, your email or your telephone number, so I can contact you so that we can make sure that we get together as far as how that you will be receiving your skill builders. So for your fish and eggs, they need to reach at least 145 degrees, as well as your whole cut beefs, your pork, and your lamb. Your ground meats, at least 155, and your poultry and stuffed products, 165, as well as if you have to reheat something, it needs to reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit as well. So in talking about food safety again, remember I shared about how quickly it is for germs and bacteria to multiply. So in 4 hours, we can have as many as 20,000 germs and bacteria. So therefore, it's important that you do not leave your foods out on the counter when you go to work or when you go to school or just around daily. No food should be out more than 2 hours. And as well as making sure you don't cross-contaminate. We cross-contaminate a lot, especially when we cook on the grills. All foods should be having at least a ½ inch between each food type so that the juices won't run and flow over onto the other meats. Prime example, if you have chicken up there, you have hamburger up there, and then you put your hot dog up there. You don't want that raw juice running onto the hot dog because we want to make sure that our families are safe. And remember again to use that meat thermometer to make sure that your meats are reaching the proper temperatures. So as of 2010, FSA said that you no longer have to wash your meat. And anywhere you have eaten out, they have practiced that. There are some reasons for that. Part of it has to do with our meats not reaching the proper temperatures. So it's safer for you to go ahead and season your meats and then prepare them, making sure that they reach the proper temperature by using your meat thermometers. So talking about choosing more fruits and vegetables, when it comes to our children, we make sure that our children get in their proper amount of fruits and vegetables. But we as adults, we somehow don't get in our daily servings that we need. So it's very important that we as adults get in our daily servings as well. So when it comes to our fruits and vegetables, the key thing we want to make sure is that we eat a variety of colors. It's very important. Each color does something different for our bodies. And so when we say get your nutritions by eating your colors, it is true. When it comes to your red fruits and vegetables, this is what's going to help to help your memory, your heart, your urinary tract, and also there are studies that show that it helps to reduce certain types of cancers. Your blues and your purple also helps with your heart and your memory, and it also helps to fight against cancer as well. Your orange and your yellow fruits and vegetables. This is what's going to help our immune systems. It also helps to reduce certain types of cancers, as well as is considered a heart healthy food color groups. Remember when your mom told you to eat your carrots because it helps your eyesight? That is very, very true. That beta carotene in those orange vegetables and fruits does help with your eyesight. Your green fruits and vegetables, This is what's going to help not only our bones, our teeth, our vision. It's going to also help our immune system, as well as an excellent source of calcium when you can't get dairy products in. Your whites and your tan fruits and vegetables. This is what's going to help to lower your blood pressure as well as your cholesterol. So that baked potato is wonderful until you add that cheese up there, until you add that bacon, that ranch dressing. So try and make it a little healthier by adding maybe a tablespoon of salsa to it. And then you're actually getting more nutrients. And again, you're getting some of all the colors when it comes to our fruits and our vegetables. So if you have an issue with dairy and you cannot get your calcium in, this is another way to get your calcium in. It may be that you may have to do 1.5 or 2 cups of green leafy to equal up to that 1 serving of dairy. And remember as well, when it comes to our fruits and vegetables, making sure that we get in our daily amounts of servings. 1 cup of green leafy vegetables equals up to a salad. And for that salad, 1 tablespoon of dressing is the serving to that 1 cup of salad. When it comes to our children, we know our children are picky eaters, trying to discover ways of getting more fruits and vegetables in them. You can always take that salsa, put it in a blender, puree it up, add it to that ground beef or ground turkey when you're making their hamburgers. And this is another way to get those nutrients in them that they will be missing on a daily basis. Also, remember when you go to do your grocery shopping, making sure that you implement to the kids of going and letting them pick out different colors of fruits and vegetables. This is another way that they can learn their fruits and vegetables. Also, this is the time of year where you can make and grow your own fruits and vegetables inside. We have excellent sources of different types of fruits and vegetables. If you get EBT, you can pick up the seeds in the supermarket and you can just get a little potted plant and plant it in your homes, or if you have a flower bed, you can plant them in your flower bed as well. Just trying to find another way of getting in our servings. When it comes to adult servings, 1/2 cup chopped up fruit is considered, or vegetable is considered as a serving. For something like your spinach, it's going to be actually 2 cups because once you cook it, it's going to go down to 1 cup. So remember, with our measuring cups, we have a liquid measure and we have a dry measure. And the key thing when it comes to these, the liquid, this is what you're going to actually use for your liquid products. Your dry, this is what you're going to use for your flour, your sugar, anything that's a dry product. Also remembering that when you measure with your dry products, you are going to actually take, after you put your ingredients in, take the back of the knife, the spine, and you're going to level that off, not over the bowl, but over another container so that you won't have the wrong size ingredients in your dish. With your liquid measure, when you pour your liquid in, you need to make sure that you look eye level, so it needs to be sitting on a flat surface. And then you go eye level with that for your measurements. Our recipe for today, as you can see, is a super stir fry. Very delicious dish, very simple and easy. And all you're doing is choosing different vegetables, whether they're fresh, frozen, or canned. Of course, we know with our fresh vegetables, we're going to get the most nutrients. And then you're going to add some type of starch to that. And that could be rice, it could be pasta, it could be couscous. It could be any of those. And then you're going to make your sauce. And on your recipe, you actually have your ingredients for your sauce, which you're using beef granule bouillons. We're using apple cider vinegar. We're also using some dark molasses. We're using some ground ginger, some black pepper, garlic powder, water, and cornstarch. And if you don't have cornstarch, you can use plain flour to do that. And with that, you're going to take those ingredients and just combine them in a dish. And once you get your vegetables sauteed, you're going to take that sauce and you're going to add it to your cooked vegetables. You're going to turn your heat on low and you're going to constantly stir it, and it's going to thicken up just like you see at your Chinese restaurants when you see something like a sweet and sour sauce. So that's the texture that your sauce will have. Also, when it comes to our sessions, just remembering to make sure that you do include with your family, making sure that you get in plenty of fruits and vegetables, because this is where our nutrients are going to come from. Remember with our canned foods to make sure that you wash off the top of your canned foods very, very thoroughly with soapy water. And the reason for that is God's creatures. So before you open your canned foods, that's even a canned soda, make sure you wash the top of it off before you open it. I'm going to open the screen now for questions, if you all have questions. And you can either type it in or you can either type it in or you can unmute your mic. You may have questions in regards to your children's eating habits.
I have a question, Miss Ella.
Yes.
Which vegetables did you say help to lower like high blood pressure and things like that?
So that's your white and your yellow fruits and vegetables.
The white and yellow fruits.
Yes. So we're talking about your avocados, your pears, garlic, potatoes, corn,
Okay.
mushrooms, those types of foods.
Okay.
Very good question.
Yep, I think that's the only question I had.
And thank you so much for joining in with us today.
You're welcome.
We will have another session on Thursday at 2:00.
Okay.
So if you have friends or family that want to join in, and we will actually, our topic will be about making smart drink choices. And we'll get an avenue to see what we're doing when it comes to drink choices.
Okay.
Is there anyone else that would like to ask a question in regards to either what you've seen on the screen today or just in general about food and nutrition education? If not, as I said, I thank you all for joining in. This is recorded, so if you had a question about something on a slide, you're able to go back and look at the slides that I did. And as I said, next week we'll talk about making smart drink choices. And you'll actually see the nutrients that you're getting unnecessarily in the choices that you choose from your drinks. So again, I thank you very much for attending our Expanded Food and Nutrition Education Session, FNEP, and our next session will be Thursday, March 26th at 2 p.m. Have a wonderful week and be safe. And if you're trying to figure out how to leave the meeting, click on End Meeting.